Hey guys, Ob here. I've been seeing this question a lot on here, and I figured it would just be easier to do like a video response because then I could deliver more information in a shorter period of time. Uh, why do I have to do road work? Can't I just box more? And the question goes, boxing is already cardio. At the end of the day, we're trying to improve our stamina for boxing, not to run more. I love you guys. Instead of spending 30 minutes a day or more on running, why can't I spend that time sparring or something else in the boxing gym that more so simulates the fight than running? Fairly logical question. I think it's important to open this with some of the unique benefits of doing aerobic or low intensity steady state or long steady duration, whatever you want to call it, training or cardio, as a lot of people say. For us as humans, all right, so actually let me go back to another thing that commonly rides along with this particular question. People talk about some of the research that came up a few years ago where Dr. Izumi Tabata took some athletes and he put them through an anaerobic program and an aerobic program and found that the athletes that participated in the anaerobic program made both anaerobic and aerobic adaptations, where the athletes that participated in the aerobic only program only made aerobic adaptations. This is true, and what he successfully found was that the anaerobic group was able to make adaptations in both. That's what he was after in the experiment. Subsequent information found that the athletes doing the aerobic only exercise made different and, in an aerobic sense, better adaptations than the group getting the aerobic carryover from the anaerobic exercise. One of the benefits in here called out is the eccentric hypertrophy of the left atrium of the heart. And what that means is it expands and it makes the heart, it expands permanently and makes the heart pump more efficiently. And blood delivery is a big deal in any type of endurance sport. Keeping that overall heart rate down, important stuff. Another important facet in the same vein, is that low intensity steady state exercise is actually the optimal way to increase your circulatory network, or your circulatory architecture. And what we're talking about is neovascularization, or the physical addition of veins, arteries, and capillaries in your body, and specifically muscles. And that allows you to bring energy to the muscles more efficiently and more quickly and in greater amounts, take waste away from the muscles in the same way, and also cool your body more efficiently by transporting the heat, which is the byproduct of the energy of doing work, to the surface and allowing it to fall into the evaporatory system of your sweat, and basically allowing your body to function more efficiently under states of work and duress. It says here, instead of spending 30 minutes a day or more on running, why can't I spend that time sparring or something else in the boxing gym that more so simulates a fight than running? It is a very logical way of thinking. I would just like to say, though, all of these questions are just a subconscious attempt to not have to do the hard part of boxing and the boring part of boxing, which is road work. I hate running. I hate running more than anybody. But no matter how much research I do, I can't prove that running is useless. It's all quite the opposite. So, talking about this, I think it's important to bring up the concept of supplemental training. And I'm going to call out core as an example. So, when you're boxing, you are working your core. And as you continue to box, you continue to become better at boxing and faster and can endure more and go for longer. You're working your core more. So, your core comes along for the ride and you're improving it. However, doing supplemental core work is a staple. All boxers understand they should be doing core and probably some push-ups and probably some squats or something else along with it. The reason for this is because when you're doing supplemental focus training, you're able to push that particular part of your body further than you would have been able to when working the body as a whole. If you're boxing and you're boxing to the point where your core is absolutely giving out, chances are your lungs and your heart are dying because the rest of your body needs energy too. And because of that weak link, that limitation, you're not able to focus the energy on your core in a way that maximizes your abdominal adaptations. So it's important to look at low intensity steady state running as the same sort of thing. Now the positives are of running or cycling or using the elliptical or something with your legs is these adaptations are site-based. So you're getting this neovascularization in your legs, and everything, your positioning, your punching, your slipping, everything is based on your ability to translate your motion of your upper body up from the ground with the use of your legs. Your legs are absolutely essential, and they're always the first thing to go when you're fighting. So it is paramount that you have literally a good set of legs underneath you. Um, so looking at that supplemental side, you should absolutely be doing something like when you start punching and you get throwing some crazy combinations on the bag. You get tired and your legs get tired, your whole body gets tired. But is it the most work your legs can get? No. So that's, is it the most work your body could get at a consistent heart rate? No. And that consistent heart rate thing is important when you're building certain facets of your anaerobic adaptation. If your heart rate gets too high, you're now using an anaerobic system in your body. And if you're trying to train your aerobic system specifically, it's important to keep that heart rate at a particular level. And this is easiest achieved with a consistent exercise like running or elliptical. So another important factor of it, I think, is managing stress level and managing workload. You as an athlete can only stress your body so much because you as an athlete can only recover so much. And if you show up and just try to do high intensity interval training every single day, you're going to develop a lot of free radicals in your body. You're going to exhaust, you're going to injure yourself. And much like a split training schedule with weightlifting, a lot of people will do push-pull legs or something where they're still in the gym and they're still doing work that helps them towards their goals, but they're allowing the parts of their body that have just received intense work to take a break while they're working other parts of the body. And is there some subsequent carryover in some of the exercises? Yeah, absolutely. But what they're allowing their body to do is recover at the rate that the body needs to again, optimize adaptations, because we're trying to make the most of our training here. So if you look at anybody like Ross and Namit, if you look at Joel Jamieson, a lot of their training schedules or example training schedules will have these intense work days padded by these moderate work days in between each of these intense work days. And another important point to make is we as humans tend to adapt better to things we do consistently than things we do occasionally to a higher intensity. So that being said, you got to do the road work. It's important. It allows you to consistently be building that gas tank, and that is the best way to build it, is consistently, while at the same time making room for your technical practice and while being able to still get in some of your explosive training, your strength training, or some of your high intensity training, which is also a necessary part of it. And it's all just part of being a well-rounded athlete. And as far as weak links go, conditioning, you can never be conditioned enough. So really, in my opinion, in boxing, outside of technical practice, which is more of a mental thing, a neurophysical thing, I think conditioning is probably the number one factor for athletes in this sport. So do you have to do road work? Yeah. Bye, guys.